Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FA, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Sun TV, your premier 24/7 destination for local and international entertainment, news, and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Sun TV. Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Sun TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient, and affordable 24/7 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State.
Welcome to the broadcast of Business Daily on Sun TV, the pulse of the nation. I'm Abraham Joda, and this is Business Daily, your trusted source for business news, market analysis, and expert insights. And on the news today, we're tracking the latest developments in Nigeria's economy, from GDP growth to market trends. Stay tuned for insightful discussions and expert opinions. And here are the headlines making waves in the business world today. Nigeria's stock market declines for third consecutive week, down 0.55% as insurance and consumer goods sector gain. Naira depreciates as foreign investors exit Nigeria's markets. Experts predict trade surplus for Nigeria in 2025. Now the news in full. The Nigeria All Share Index, AXR, fell for the third consecutive week, declining by 0.55% to close at 105,955.13 points. This represents a drop of 583.47 points from its opening value of 106,538.60, pushing the index below the 106,000 mark. Despite the overall market downturn, the insurance and consumer goods sector posted slight gains, offering some stability. Now looking at the market performance and trading value, trading activity surged significantly, with total weekly volume rising to 3.2 billion shares, an 80.45% increase from the 1.8 billion shares traded the previous week. However, the market capitalization declined from 66.7 trillion naira to 66.3 trillion naira, reflecting investors' caution amid ongoing volatility. Now looking at the sectoral performance and starting with the gainers, the NGX Insurance Index increased by 0.89%, driven by a 10% rise in cornerstone insurance shares. The NGX Consumer Goods Index also saw a marginal gain of 0.03%. On the losers list, the NGX Oil and Gas Index declined by 1.15%, while the NGX Banking Index dropped by 0.45%, dragged down by losses in JS Bank, UBA, and First Old. The NGX Industrial Goods Index also slipped by 0.21%. Let's look at the top gainers of the week. Leading the gainers was Livestock Feed PLC, which jumped at 22.16%, followed by Caverton Offshore Support Group PLC at 15.38%. Other top gainers included FTN Cocoa Processors PLC plus 14.20%, CWG PLC plus 13.21%, Tantalizers PLC plus 13.13%. For the top losers of the week, the biggest decliner was NedMeth International Pharmaceuticals PLC, which lost 70.0%, followed by Mercure Industries PLC at 10.36%. And other notable losers included International Energy PLC minus 10.26%, University Press PLC minus 10%, while Cornell lost 10% also. For corporate announcement, Seplat Energy PLC announced a tender offer for senior notes due 2030. Owando was selected as the preferred bidder for the lease of Guaracara Refinery in Trinidad and Tobago. United Capital PLC proposed a final dividend for the 2024 fiscal year. Aradel Holdings completed the acquisition of Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria, SPDC. Now taking a look at the market outline with the ASR falling below the 106,000 mark, analysts suggest the market is entering a retracement phase. However, the significant increase in trading volume hints at rising investor participation, which could lead to a market rebound in the coming weeks. Now let's go to Jos Plateau State, where the prices of petroleum has plummeted from 31,000 naira per basket in December 2024 to as low as 15,000 naira in March 2025. Bringing joy to consumers but despair to farmers. The drastic price drop is attributed to a surge in tomato production, fueled by favorable dry season farming practices that have resulted in a glut in the market. Farmers in Plateau State, particularly not in local government areas such as Mangu, Basa, Barkinladi, Jos North and Jos South, has contributed to the surplus, flooding the markets with tomatoes. While consumers are celebrating their affordable prices, farmers are counting their losses, with many selling their produce at a loss. The current prices are insufficient to cover production costs, let alone provide the profits, said Shehu Ibrahim, a farmer in the state. The Plateau State government has attributed the surplus to strategic initiatives aimed at boosting tomato production in the state. Ishaku Bugama, the State Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources, said the government's efforts have led to an increase in local production, making it possible for consumers to access cheaper tomatoes. However, as farmers are calling for greater intervention from the government to help stabilize prices and ensure they can cover their costs. As the tomato glut continues to disrupt local markets, the future of tomato planting and tomato farming in Plateau State remain uncertain. Now going to PZ Cousins Nigeria, which has announced that it proposed to convert $34.26 million debt owed to its parent country PZ Cousins Holdings into equity, has been rejected by minority shareholders. The proposal, which was put to a vote at the company's extraordinary general meeting on March 13, failed to meet the required 75% majority approval. According to a disclosure published on the Nigerian Exchange Group, 663 out of 605 minority shareholders voted in favor of the proposal, while 12 significant shareholders opposed it. The debt-to-equity conversion was intended to strengthen PZ Cousins Nigeria's balance sheet and reduce its exposure to foreign currency fluctuations. The CEO, Dimitris Kostianis, expressed his appreciation to shareholders for their participation and engagement, stating that the company will explore alternative strategies to restore its net asset to a positive position. PZ Cuisance Nigeria has announced the proposed debt to equity conversion in February, citing the need to elevate its exposure to foreign exchange volatility and channel resources into productive investment. Also, the Muslim Students Society of Nigeria, MSSN, has called on the National Assembly to engage more stakeholders on the proposed tax reform bill, ensuring fairness and consideration of economic realities faced by Nigerians. MSS's President Mustafa Tajuddin Olumide emphasized the need for inclusive and fair tax policies, especially for students, young entrepreneurs, and small businesses. The group commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration for implementing the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, NELFund, which aims to provide access to quality education for indigent students. Breaking news, the Security and Exchange Commission (SEC) has revoked the registration of Mainland Trust Limited as a capital market operator due to regulatory non-compliance and unresolved complaints. This decision was made under Section 38, Subsection 4 of the Investment and Securities Act 2007 and Rule 34, Subsection 1E of the Security Exchange Consolidated Rules and Regulations 2013. Clients of the firm has been advised to contact the Central Security Clearing System (CSCS) for guidance on transferring their stocks to another stockbroker. Meanwhile, the Nigerian naira has weakened further against major foreign currencies following the exit of foreign portfolio investors from the country's financial market. Speaking on the Drinks and Mics podcast hosted by Ugo Obichukwu, CEO of Nairomatics, and on Dublin Grain, CEO of Crodros Capital, attributed the naira's depreciations to Nigeria's reliance on foreign investment. Green noted that FPIs were initially drawn to Nigeria's fixed income market due to high yields, with open market operations, OMO bills and treasury bills offering returns as high as 30% and 29% respectively. However, as yields have dropped and the naira strengthened, investors are hesitating to secure profits. These FPIs have made money. OMO was at 30% yield for 1 year, 1 year T-bills, treasury bills at 29%. The naira was at 1,700, 1,600. Now treasury bills that were at 29% yield are under 20%. OMO that were at 30% is now under 20%. And the naira strengthened to 1,500. You further said you've made your money and you don't need to be any more green. Explain. Ugo Obichukwu highlighted that bureau de change operators reported every financial transactions this week, attributing them to federal government disbursements. These operators told them there were a lot of payments that happened during the week. Obichukwu stated that large-scale naira inflows into the system often increase demands for dollars, leading to further pressure on the exchange rates. In the previous edition of the Drinks and Mic podcast, Samson Esemoide, CEO of Drugs, emphasized that stabilizing the exchange rate should be a priority for policymakers over adjusting interest rates. Within the context of Nigeria and the impact of those calling out for those creating output, FX is much more important than interest rate, Esemoide said. The naira weakened further on Friday, falling to 1,590 per dollar in the parallel market, while in the official Nigerian foreign exchange market, the naira depreciated by 0.6, that is by 9 naira 13 kobo on Thursday, with the Central Bank of Nigeria quoting the exchange rate as 1,547 naira 81 kobo per dollar compared to the previous 1,538 naira 64 kobo per dollar. And as foreign investors continue to exit Nigeria's markets and government payments impact liquidity, analysts warn that the exchange rate fluctuation could persist. The question remains whether policymakers will take decisive action to stabilize the naira in the coming month. First Bankers of Nigeria has refuted allegation of fraud leveled against it by an Abia businessman, Dr. Agbai Eke. dismissing the claim as entirely unfounded and false. Dr. Eke recently filed a lawsuit at the Abia State High Court alleging that over 5,500 million was fraudulently deducted from his fixed deposit account. His legal representative, Ebuka Anwaize, stated that deposit was originally intended to support the continued operation of the bank's branch in Abiriba and contribute to community development. According to Dr. Eke, discovered the alleged fraudulent deductions in December 2023 when he lost access to his account via the bank's mobile app and was unable to reach the business development manager. Upon visiting First Bank Gwarinpa branch in Abuja, he claims to have learned that 55 million naira has been withdrawn in 6 unauthorized transactions, 5 withdrawals of 10 million each and 1 of 5 million, despite his presence in Umuahia at the time. He further alleged that when he requested the liquidation of his fixed deposit, the bank failed to take action for months. In a statement issued by Olayinka Ijabi, Acting Group Head of Marketing and Corporate Communication, First Bank strongly denied the allegation, attributing the situation to unauthorized dealing involving a former employee. Our findings on the matter indicate unprofessional and unethical dealings between Dr. Agba Eke and a former First Bank employee using a personal relationship to facilitate unauthorized transactions outside the bank's knowledge or involvement, the statement read. The bank also confirmed that it has reported the case to law enforcement authorities for further investigation. As the matter is currently before the court, we refrain from further comment to allow the court to dispassionately determine the issues before it. However, the bank has filed a report with law enforcement agencies, and the suspects have made use of statement while investigations are ongoing. Meanwhile, in a separate development, First Bank has secured approval from the Lagos State government to begin constructing its eco-friendly headquarters in Eko Atlantic City. The project, which included a 40-story skyscraper, is said to be Nigeria's tallest building and will incorporate sustainable and technological advanced features. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu recently presented the approval certificate to Femi Otedola, chairman of First Holdco, at the groundbreaking ceremony. This iconic structure underscores our 130-year commitment to excellence, innovation, and long-term growth, the bank stated. The construction of the new headquarters is expected to redefine industry standards in an African financial service sector. Economic analysts have expressed mixed expectations regarding Nigeria's inflation rate for February 2025, with some anticipating a slight moderation while others predict a marginal increase. However, no sharp decline is expected given prevailing economic conditions. While some experts foresee a drop in the month-on-month inflation rate, the year-on-year inflation outlook remains uncertain due to various economic variables, including fuel price fluctuations, foreign exchange stability, and fuel supply constraints linked to the fasting season. The recently rebased Consumer Price Index by the National Bureau of Statistics have added uncertainty to inflation projections as concerns arise over the methodology used to determine new inflation indices. According to Olarunde Amolegbe, Managing Director of Auto Stoven Asset Management, inflation is likely to remain flat or slightly increase. Despite a reduction in fuel prices and improved FX stability, these factors have only slowed the rate of inflation rather than causing a significant drop. Amolegbe explained. Meanwhile, Damilare Asimiyu, head of research at AfriInvest West Africa, projected that the month-to-month inflation rate for headline food and core inflation will decline to about 3.6%, 3.9%, and 2.8% respectively as the sharp rebasing effect diminishes. However, CMU emphasized the difficulty in estimating the year-to-year inflation rate, citing a lack of clarity on the MBS calculated rebate CPIs. Nigeria is on track to achieve a trade surplus in 2025, according to Dele Akintola, Chief Investment Officer of Alezo. Akintola made this projection during a discussion on the Drix and Mike's podcast hosted by Ugo Obichoko, CEO of Nairametrics. Akintola highlighted two major factors contributing to this optimistic outlook. Number one is declining fuel imports. Nigeria reduced reliance on fuel imports has significantly decreased the country's trade deficits. Increasing local refinery export, the Dangote refinery ability to export petroleum products is strengthening Nigeria's trade balance. I think we will still have a current account surplus this year, largely due to the fact that we are not importing as much fuel as we used to, Akintola stated. He further emphasized that Dangote refinery is also exporting, so those numbers look good. According to the latest data from the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria recorded a trade surplus of $21.1 billion in 2025, a trend that experts predict will continue in 2025. Despite a positive trade outlook, Arnold Dublin, Green CEO of Codros Capital. Okay, take that again. Okay, on to the next news. And the bill to tackle youth unemployment and drive economic empowerment, the federal government has signed a memorandum of understanding with Safital Limited to create more opportunities for Nigerian youth. The agreement sealed by the Federal Ministries of Youth Development and Labor Employment aims to equip young Nigerians with skills needed to thrive in today's economy. The Minister of Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande, signed on behalf of the ministry. Now, the renovation of the National Art Theatre, Soyinka Theatre, is in its final phase, presenting immense economic opportunities for Nigeria's creative industry. The initiative, spearheaded by the Central Bank of Nigeria in partnership with the Bankers Committee, is projected to generate $25 billion in foreign exchange inflows, which will be bolstering the government's vision of a $1 trillion economy. During a recent facility tour at Igomu, Lagos, CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso emphasized the economic potential of the creative sector. He stated that this will serve as a powerful signal for collaboration and prosperity, and not just for creative industry, but for all Nigerians. Now that is the end of Business Daily for today. Before I go, here's a recap of the major headlines. Nigerian stock market declined for a third consecutive week, down 0.55% as insurance and consumer goods sector gain. Naira depreciates as foreign investors exit Nigeria's markets. Experts predict trade surplus for Nigeria in 2025. Some TV is a 24-hour station. You can also follow us on Facebook at Some TV and on YouTube at Some TV Live. I am Abraham Mainajoda. Goodbye.